Good evening. This is All India Radio, Kohima. I'm Ketholena with the evening news. The headlines: 7th session of 13th Nagaland Legislative Assembly to commence from February 12. 21st Technical Coordination Subcommittee and Northeastern Regional Power Committee meeting begins at Kohima. Asia's biggest Aero India show begins in Bengaluru, Weapons Systems. And India becomes fastest country in the world to administer 4 million COVID-19 vaccines. The 7th session of the 13th Nagaland Legislative Assembly will commence from 12th of this month and continues till 20th of February. The Business Advisory Committee, in a meeting held today under the chairmanship of Speaker Sheringan Longkamer, has finalized the provisional program for the 7th session and decided to hold the session from 12th to 20th of February. During the session, a number of businesses will be taken up, which includes the Governor's Address, obituary references, motion of thanks to the Governor's Address, question hour, debate, and adoption of motion of thanks to the Governor's Address. Besides, there will be presentation of annual administrative reports, introduction of bills, presentation of supplementary demand for regularization of excess expenditure for the year 2012 to 13, presentation of Controller and Auditor General of India report, discussion on matters of urgent public importance, among others. The government will also present the budget for the year 2021 to 22. The two-day of 21st Technical Coordination Subcommittee and Northeastern Regional Power Committee meeting got underway today at Kohima. Chairman, Technical Coordination Subcommittee and Engineer-in-Chief, Department of Power, Nagaland, Shikato Sema, in his keynote address said that the power sector in India has undergone significant progress since independence. He said the country has an installed capacity of 374 gigawatts approximately as on December 2020. Shikato said the demand met of NER grid has increased to about 100% in the last 10 years. He also stressed on the need to take up with the Centre on 100% PSDF funding concerning reliable communication project with special emphasis to Northeast states. Delegates from Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Tripura, Mizoram, Meghalaya, Manipur and central officials from various central undertakings are participating in the event. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Nipio Rio will address the delegate on the second day tomorrow. Speeches will also be delivered by power ministers of the Northeast region. Aero India, Asia's biggest show, was inaugurated by Defence Minister Rajnath Singh in Bengaluru today. Speaking during the inaugural function, the Defence Minister pointed out at India's growing presence in the area of designing and developing indigenous weapon systems and platforms for our defence forces. He added that India has jumped 14 positions to occupy 63rd position in the ranking of ease of doing business. The minister called upon investors to tie up with Indian firms to launch a manufacturing facility in India, saying that the goal is to achieve a turnover of 1,75,000 crore rupees in aerospace and defence production by 2024. The minister said that India today has the potential to export indigenous platforms. Singh said that India is strong enough to protect its territorial integrity and no attempts to change the status quo at the borders will be tolerated. Defence Minister also said befitting reply will be given to those involved in state-sponsored terrorism. India's trajectory of leaping across landmarks in its fight against the global pandemic continues. In a significant achievement, India has become the fastest country in the world to reach the 4 million COVID-19 vaccination mark. The country has achieved this feat in 18 days. As on 1st February, India was among the top 5 countries in terms of number of COVID-19 vaccine doses administered to people. 14 states and union territories have not reported any deaths in the last 24 hours. The gap between active cases and recovered cases is continuously increasing and stands at 1,03,02,574. 31 states and union territories have less than 5,000 active cases. Nagaland today reported 16 fresh COVID-19 cases, taking the total case load to 12,117. Minister for Health and Family Welfare S. Pangnupom in a tweet said 15 cases were detected from Kohima and 1 from Dimapur. In addition, 5 positive patients have recovered in Dimapur. With a total of 11,815 recovered cases in the state, the number of active cases is 66. Nagaland Public Service Commission has declared the answer keys of NCS, NPS, NSS and Allied Services Mains Examination 2019. The details can be accessed from the Commission's website www.npse.co.in or the notice board of the Commission. You're listening to the news from All India Radio, Kohima. The centre has rejected proposals of several state governments to extend the working hours in factories to make up for the production loss due to lockdown. In a written reply in Rajya Sabha, Labour Minister Santosh Gangwar said his ministry had received draft ordinances and bills from different states regarding amendment in the existing provisions of the Factories Act 1948 to extend the working hours. Gangwar said the ministry has not agreed to the proposals. Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar, Petroleum Minister Dharmendra Pradhan, Animal Husbandry Minister Giriraj Singh, Jal Shakti Minister Gajendra Singh Shekhawat, and Minister of State for Jal Shakti Ratan Lal Kataria today jointly launched a unified web portal for monitoring the progress of Gobardhan activities across the nation. Gobardhan is an important component of Swachh Bharat Mission Phase 2 for organic solid waste management. In view of fire incidents involving several hospitals with loss of lives in recent past and also in compliance with the Supreme Court order, all the government hospitals, including primary health centers, private hospitals, and nursing homes in the state have been asked to nominate Nodal Officer for Fire Safety with immediate effect. In a press release by Joint Director and State Nodal Officer for Fire Safety, Dr. C. Tetsuo said the names of nominated officers should be submitted to the Office of the Principal Director of Health and Family Welfare by 20th of February. He said the nodal officers will be in charge of fire safety in their health care units. Dr. Tetsuo further informed that the state government will soon come up with standard guidelines and the Fire and Emergency Services Department will be the nodal agency for certification. Dimapur Police, in a joint operation with Assam Police, yesterday arrested 2 persons in connection with a murder and carjacking case in Sunitpur district, Assam. They are Biswajit Mek of 25 years and Saliatro Khempari of 40 years. In a press note, Additional Deputy Commissioner of Police Dimapur stated that the hijacked vehicle was also recovered. The arrest and recovery was a result of a consecutive police operation in Naharbari, Dipupar and Doyapur area. The ACP added. Further, the arrested persons along with the recovered vehicle was handed over to Assam Police. In another incident, 3 female minors missing from Kifire district were rescued yesterday from the border area near New Field Check Gate by women police station staff with the assistance of Karbi Anglong Police. In this connection, necessary steps have been taken to reunite them with their respective family members. And as the nation fights COVID-19 pandemic, let us all remember to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps: wear a face mask, wash hands frequently with soap and water or use hand sanitizer, and follow social distancing norms. To end the news, the headlines here again. 7th session of 13th Nagaland Legislative Assembly to commence from February 12. 21st Technical Coordination Subcommittee and Northeastern Regional Power Committee meeting begins at Kohima. Asia's biggest Aero India show begins in Bengaluru Weapons Systems. And India becomes fastest country in the world to administer 4 million COVID-19 vaccines. That's all we have in this evening news bulletin. Good night.